What an honor it is to be here tonight with you all to celebrate our dear friend, Pedro. It's so special to be in a room filled with such love, respect, and joy, all for my absolute favorite person to hang out with in Madrid, eating pan con tomate y jamón, and while talking about films, music, and our love of books. Oh gosh. Pedro and I met in 2022, which is just a blink of the eye compared to many of the enduring creative partnerships and relationships that we're hearing about tonight. But our connection was instant. And so, as we celebrate his amazing life's work with this richly deserved Chaplin Award, let me tell you how my friendship with Pedro Almodóvar began. Of course, I've always been a fan. I just love his movies. I think I've seen them all. And I'll never forget the first time I watched Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, and Kika, and Volver, and The Skin I Live In, which kind of terrified me a little bit, if I'm honest. I fell in love with the fluidity and diversity of all his characters. Pedro, I love your use of color and your eccentric play on fashion. I love how you champion women and create such powerful stories for your female characters. It's refreshingly relatable, and I think we can all find a part of ourselves in Las Chicas Almodóvar. I love how you balance emotion and humor in your stories. I especially love how you just completely normalize trans and gay roles in your storylines, something that feels like these days feels like quite a radical act. And yet, there's a lightness and a heart to everything you do. Oh. And even before I met him, I was using Pedro as my Spanish teacher. While I was on tour in 2022, I started learning Spanish, and sometimes I'd watch his films between shows. And I'd practice by reciting what the characters were saying in the film, mumbling the lines under my breath. And it probably looked a bit like I was praying. Well, in a way, I think I was. Watching Almodóvar movies, for me, is almost like a religious experience. They are that good. So when I started my podcast, I really wanted to talk to him, and I was so happy that he said yes. People always say, don't meet your idols. And before speaking to Pedro, I was so nervous. But it turns out we had a lot to say. We could have gone on all day, and we nearly did. I think the producers had to practically kick us off the line in the end, which is why Pedro invited me to lunch in Madrid, and I flew straight there. I went to his house where he actually filmed Pain and Glory, which was surreal, as I could see that for him, life is art and art is life. And we sat in the dining room for 3 or 4 hours and we just talked about everything and anything. So I say do meet your idols, especially if it's Pedro. He's just so funny and sassy, and to know him is to love him. It feels like we've been friends for many years. For me, there's no trip to Madrid without going to see Pedro. You know, he actually even sent me a list of neighborhoods in Madrid that I could potentially live in. And that's the thing. He lives and breathes film, and he lives and breathes Spain. When someone is so authentic, it's going to resonate with the world, because he teaches you something profound that you didn't know about a place and its people. Like the way he's always championed local actors and artists. I just think that's so beautiful. To love your own culture and to celebrate it in so many ways. You know this is a person who understands and loves where he's from. It's so moving to hear from so many inspiring people tonight and to see this beautiful community Pedro has created. Pedro, the world is a better place with you in it, and I'm so grateful to call you my friend. Felicidades, Pedro. Eres una inspiración y un gran maestro para mí. Soy muy afortunada de estar aquí esta noche y es un honor poder llamarte mi amigo. Te quiero mucho.